Good morning. Today we're going to tie a very simple, generic caddis nymph pattern. And it's so generic, I don't think it even has a name, but we'll call it the green machine. And it's got a short little tail on it and caddis green dubbing for a body. And there is I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a shell back, clear shell back across the top to give it that insect appearance, and gold ribbing, and then a darker dubbing for the, this is a peacock dubbing for the thorax, and a gold bead. It is tied on a size 14 curved caddis hook. Very simple pattern. Let's get to tying. I've already inserted the bead on the hook in this case, and to stabilize that bead, we're going to take just 2 wraps of lead wire, more to stabilize the bead than to add any weight to the fly. This is a 7/64 tungsten bead in gold. We can shove most of that wire up into the bead. We'll start our thread right behind the lead wraps and tie that in and hold that lead wire into the bead. For thread, we're using an olive 70 denier ultra thread. Right weight for this fly, and we'll work our thread, building a base on the shank of the hook, work the thread back down well into the bend. Okay, next for the tail, we're going to use some Antron yarn, and I've clipped off a section of the Antron yarn, and it really is too heavy the way the yarn is built. So we're going to take this piece of yarn and divide it in half. Just pull it in half, and that gives us fewer fibers of yarn. This is just about right for the tail. And you could use other materials for the tail. You could use some floss, or even some marabou fibers, anything that would give you the same coloring and shape. We'll tie that in there at the base and wrap down to where our thread stopped. And then we're going to clip off, if we want just a very short tail, like 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch long. Wrap up over our yarn, make sure it's cinched down good. Clip off our excess. Now we can tie in our gold wire. Tied in on my side of the hook. And we're going to save that material for later. Now, for the shell back, you can buy all kinds of material at the fly shops to create that shell back, and it all works great, but you don't need to buy any material. If you have at home a plastic bag, any baggie will do. And what I do is just trim off a piece of that baggie that is about 1/8 of an inch wide. And this is our shellback material. You talk about a cheap material. I love when you can find something around the house to use as a fly tying material. Okay, I'm gonna pinch that plastic on my side of the hook and tie it down so it wraps around the top of the hook. And take it all the way back to the start of the tail, and this will form that shellback. Make sure that it will come straight over and right on top of the hook, just like that. Okay, we've got that checked out. We'll leave that stored back there until later. Now the dubbing, we're going to use some caddis green dubbing. This is a great color. And again, as I've mentioned before, with dubbing, less is best. So just a little bit at a time. Start back at the base of the tail, come forward. And we want that body to have a taper in it as we move forward. So it's smaller in diameter at the tail, larger diameter towards the head. We'll put a little bit more on there. This ought to do it. Okay, that gives us a pretty good taper. Now, take the shell back and take that right over the top of the fly, back of the fly, and hold it in place. Take a loose wrap with the thread and tighten it down. Loose wrap and tighten it down. Okay, we can do another couple of tight wraps. That holds the shell back right on top of the fly. Lift up the expensive shellback material, tie it down, and snip off the excess. Okay, now take the gold wire and wrap that around, and the technique is to loosely wrap it over the top of the shellback and then pull down. That keeps you from rotating that shellback around the fly. Okay, pull it. Loose wrap over the top, pull down. That pulls it into the shellback, gives it that segmented appearance. Pull down. Tie down the gold wire and helicopter it off. Coffee break. The last material is some peacock dubbing, and you could use some peacock herl here as well, but the dubbing works just great. And this will give us that dark appearance of a caddis pupa's head. A little more. Okay, now we whip finish. Add a little bit of head cement. And the last step in this fly is to take a little bit of Velcro on each side of the fly, just tease out those fibers, and that gives the appearance of legs on the fly. So there we have a very simple caddis nymph that today we're calling the green machine. Have fun tying it.